Okay, it is 6:01. I'm calling the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dan, would you lead us in the pledge?
The flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. With liberty and justice for all. That's brutal. Hey.
Okay. We have several minutes to address. First one is September 28th, number 2, non-public meeting minutes. And we're just announcing these, correct?
No, there was only one that was sealed. So there was 3 meetings. Number 1, which is you're making a meeting announcement that number 1 non-public was sealed. Number 2 and 3 were not sealed.
Okay. So therefore, for those that didn't hear, the September 28th, number 1 non-public meeting minutes were sealed indefinitely. The second item is number 2 non-public meetings from September 28th. Is there a motion for approval?
I move to accept the minutes as written.
Okay, Zach moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Neil seconds. John, your vote.
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. The third piece is the September 28th non-public session number 3. Is there a motion?
So move.
Okay, John moves.
Second.
Neil seconds. Neil, your vote.
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Mary Ann?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Okay. Next is the September 28th work session meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Mary Ann moves.
Second.
Zach seconds. Neil, your vote.
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Zach?
Aye.
Okay, last but not least, the October, ooh. These are ones that got stuck in there
September
or what?
28th, regular meeting minutes.
Okay. September 28th, select board meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So move.
Okay, John moves. Is there a second?
Aye.
Mary Ann, ayes already.
Sorry.
Mary Ann seconds. Zach, your vote?
Aye.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
Bill, aye. John?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Okay. And finally, the October 5th select board work session meeting minutes. Is there a motion? Non-public meeting minutes, excuse me.
So move.
There's a little confusion here, but why does it say,
No, you're at the work session.
yes, but, okay. So, John, you move?
Yes.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Zach seconds. Mary Ann, you're Bill, aye. Zach,
Aye.
John? John, did you vote?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. And we did that announcement already. So the select board will meet on the following dates. We'll have a regular meetings on Monday, October 26th, 2020, and Monday, November 9th, 2020. Work sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. All of the above meetings will be held via Zoom. You can find dial-in information on the town's website at plymouth-nh.org. Citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board's agenda should notify the town hall before 12 p.m. the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Reopening of town offices. The town of Plymouth makes every attempt to follow the governor's orders and CDC updates and recommendations very closely regarding COVID-19. Due to cross-communication information, it has been determined that the town hall was mistakenly opened too soon. We opened for a couple days. At this time, the state of emergency order 70 under section 18 of the executive order 2020-04 has been extended until November 15th, 2020. Due to the concerns of the COVID-19 virus and by agreement of the town's emergency management director, town offices will remain closed to the public until November 30th, 2020. Please note, as we respond to this unprecedented and rapidly changing situation, the above plans may change at any time in the future. Please check our website and Facebook page for an up-to-date planning and information. If you need something else, please call the Selectman's office at 536-1731. Town Clerk's office, 536-1732. The Selectman's office is open from 8 a.m. to 4:30. Town Clerk is open from 8:30 to 4. And the Tax Collector's office, you can contact at 536-4733. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, Chairman's comments. For further clarification purposes, there has been some misunderstanding about the town of Plymouth canceling Halloween this year. Due to the amount of people that attend trick-or-treating in Plymouth, the town feels that we cannot provide adequate safety measures to protect everyone. Therefore, the town has opted not to promote trick-or-treating this year. And what this means is that the town is not sponsoring the traditional celebration. So we will not have crossing guards, parks recreation staff, and police officers working the event. We are not saying you cannot trick or treat. We are merely saying that we cannot endorse large groups, either on Main Street or in the residential areas. Trick or treating in Plymouth will be done at your own risk. And if you trick or treat, please make sure to wear a mask and maintain social distancing. Next order of business, we have Highway Manager Joe Fagnan regarding transmission oil and labor for a truck. Hey, Joe.
How's it going?
Well, how about yourself?
Good.
Good.
I got some purchase orders.
The town hall get locked up again?
They're gone.
Okay. They'll come back. We'll just have to wait.
Here we go. Looks like they're on mute again.
All right, thank you.
You're back.
We're good?
Yep.
Joe, make sure they can hear you, so you need to
Okay.
talk into that, please.
So I have a purchase order. I need to swap out a transmission in one of our pickups. It's been going for a couple years now, and it's gotten really bad, and I don't want a chance having it break down during the middle of the winter. We've had Irwin Motors and the Ford garage look at it, and they can't fix it. And what they found was it's all internal. So there's nothing else I can do but replace it. So that's where I'm at, $6,283.94.
Okay.
I have some questions.
Okay,
What model truck is this?
that's our 2008 F550. So we plow with it, but it's always had a problem. Like a year after we've had it, a clunking, and we've had it looked at probably half a dozen times, and no one could find the problem. And now it's to the point where it's definitely internal. They found shavings, and so I can't get around it.
Have you ever considered going to the transmission doctor in Manchester?
I have not. I mean, I got a quote from Meredith Motors, Plymouth Motors, and I got one from Camerata, and we've used Camerata, and we've always had good success.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did they come in from the bidding process? Were they lowest, medium?
The what?
Or a bid. A bid for the work done was the lowest bid, or?
They were both right around the same money. There was probably only $100 difference between the two.
Who'd you get the bids from?
Camerata and Plymouth Motors.
Yeah.
And I called another company, but they never returned my call.
Well, Camerata's a good outfit.
Milford. So,
Where's Camerata out of?
Oh,
Down in Bow.
Yep. Oh, okay.
yep, I've had good luck with them.
I've done a lot of business with them.
okay.
Joe, what's the replacement timeline on this truck?
It's probably a week turnaround.
No, I mean, when would you be planning to age this truck out of your set
Oh.
of equipment?
2008, probably not for another 6 or 7 years at least.
It's not bad for another 6 to 7 years then.
Well, I mean, I've had older trucks that haven't had any problems. It's just the luck of the draw. It's just,
Other than that, the truck's holding up pretty well.
yes.
I move that we accept this purchase order for the replacement transmission to Camerata.
All right, Zach motions. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, John seconds. Is there any discussion?
Well, you specified Camerata. They're really an excellent facility.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Mary Ann, your vote?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Nice have it. Okay. And you got the originals, but
I do.
Okay. So
you want to start passing that around, we'll sign it, or?
So I have a GMI paving. I got 3 different quotes I had. And they came in right where I wanted them. So Melvin Road, the whole entrance is completely gone. If you turn on to Melvin Road off of 3A. So we're gonna prep it. And there, GMI is gonna repave it, just the entrance. Unfortunately, the whole road could use overlaying, but for now, we need to save the approach going into it, because the plow will just plow all that. It's aggregated, so it'll plow right off this winter. That's how bad it is. Then
Which road is this, Joe?
Melvin Road.
Is that the one that goes up to Tenny Mountain? That one?
Yep.
Oh, that whole road.
So,
That's the old Tenny Mountain Road.
yeah,
Correct.
Yes.
The old. So
is there an issue with ownership? Or I'm jumping the
No,
gun here, but
it's town.
till a certain
That
point.
part of it's
Yeah,
town.
okay, all right.
Then I have the bottom part of Stinson Road has been broken up for several years, and so the water comes down the ditch line, and then it turns and comes down the center of the road, and it washes out the bottom of Bell Road, and so we've got to patch that and put it back together, and then GMI is gonna overlay it and fix it and put a crown back on it, so the water runs into the ditches where it belongs. And again, that's only like a 300-foot stretch, but it just destroys Bell Road, and it's hard on our plows. So we're trying to fix the things that are the small things that we can get ahead on. And then there's two patches at the highway garage. When we moved the sand shed a few years back, it left us with a section that was unpaved, and it's right where our water outlet is, where we run the sweeper, and it makes a big muddy mess when we're trying to clean the sweeper out. And then on the other side, there's a patch where we did the fuel shed. We had to put a concrete footing in over there, so there's a patch there. And what's happening is the plow trucks are just breaking it up, and the patch is getting bigger. So we're trying to close them up, so we don't have to spend more money and make it so the plows can drive over without wrecking it. So, and there's money in that line item for that work.
Okay,
Seems like a lot of money for Stinson Road. Is that a normal?
Yeah, I've got some prices for Boulder Point and Carmel Drive and they're huge money, but they're for my upcoming budget.
Okay.
So it'll make this look small.
What makes it so expensive?
Um,
And in comparison, I know it isn't, but
Supply and demand, oil in the aggregate, fuel that makes the asphalt.
and the highway south, is that our property, or at least the property that we currently have, or is
Yep.
that, it's not
I
water?
mean,
so-
it was paid before, but like I said, we had to cut into it to put the
I'll move the,
fuel shed in.
okay,
And then the other side was disrupted when we had to move the sand shed. So it just makes a muddy mess.
okay.
We can't keep it clean, so. But Melvin and Stinson, those are the two big hits. So
Right.
Melvin Road's one of the oldest roads in town.
yep.
also the worst, I think.
Oh no,
No, Bartlett,
Yeah.
Emerson.
Bartlett.
Emerson.
Bartlett, I don't know what's underneath it.
I could postulate, but I don't think I will. So, therefore, is there at least a motion
I'll make a motion to approve this purchase order.
Okay.
Well, second.
Mary Ann moves, Zach seconds. Any discussion?
Well, I always figured that the half of the cost of paving is just the tonnage of the asphalt that you put down.
Yeah, more than half, but yep.
Rough estimate.
All right. Any other discussion? In that case, Zach, vote.
Aye.
Bill, aye. Mary Ann,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, and I did my homework. I only have a couple of salt vendors that are local enough to make it worth my while to use. And once again, Morton salt. The same one I used last year. Last year, the prices hadn't gone up, but this year they have. They went up by $2.21 a ton. So I used 540 tons last year. And so this year my budget's for 40,000. I have 37,000 appropriated, which should get me through the season.
Okay.
Where is Morton Salt located?
It comes out of Portsmouth.
Right off the dock?
Yep,
That big white pile?
yep.
There's another outfit in Hooksett. Have you ever gone there?
Yeah, there's another one. I don't know if it's that one, but we have another vendor, but their salt seems to be more wet. And so when you're running it through the sanders and stuff, it clumps up and it doesn't come out as well. It's just harder to work with. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
I'll move to accept purchase order to Morton Salt.
All right. Zach moves. Is there a second?
Second.
John seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none. Neil, your vote?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Zach?
Wait just a minute, I'll be able to give you the third PO. Those are your originals.
Okay.
Those are yours, they've already signed them.
So I'm good?
Good.
Got one more PO coming at you.
All right. Thanks. Oh, Jill, we're done, right?
Yep.
Thanks very much. Oh, you want your PPO? Anna Dare, wage and classification study.
Is this the only one you have? All right, so what we have found is that potentially we've heard from many department heads that because of the wages that we are paying employees, that maybe we're not keeping up with the wages as we should competitively. The last wage study here done in the town of Plymouth was in 1998, I believe, and that included job descriptions. This proposal here is to also include job descriptions. As we know, many job descriptions have changed since 1998. People are doing many other things. It also gives us information on our benefits, how you would compare the benefits to other towns, surrounding towns. And this is an independent outside company. It's Municipal Resources. They would come in, they would have a conversation with our employees saying, this is what we have for your job description. Is this what you're doing? Are you being paid competitively compared to what you're doing here in Plymouth with other surrounding towns and also those that are of our population? This is something that we are asking to take out of the town's $100,000 out of the bond. Usually the studies go anywhere from 5 to 10 years, so we won't have to do this again for a minimum of 5 years. But I think it will also help the board, not only now, but in the future, know when someone comes to you and says, we're trying to keep our employees, we need to offer this, we need to offer that. And they may be right on agreeing with the department heads that indicate that. But this is an independent study that will help us, I believe, in the long run. It is $20,000. MRI is the only one that we know of in the state of New Hampshire that does this. New Hampshire Municipal Association used to do it. So we contacted them directly and they recommended Municipal Resources.
Yeah.
So that's how we got the quote from them. The priority will be the wages. And because we're in the budget season, we've asked that they give us as much information as they can on the wages prior to December. So we're hoping that if something needs to be implemented here, you as a board will know about it when we go to set our budget finalization. The other part of it, which will be the job descriptions and the benefits, that will come probably before July 1 of the following year. So it's a tool that really is necessary for the town, whether it's somebody going out on FMLA, whether it's, we're putting job ads out to fill positions. We kind of want to know what it is we're asking of that person. So I think it's going to help us in the long run.
It's too bad this wasn't done like a couple of months ago. That we could use it for, at least,
Well, we can still use it for the budgeting purposes.
yeah.
And nothing is necessarily finalized until you're talking about the union?
Yeah.
Okay. The union would be ratified at town meeting. So potentially what information comes out, you may need to schedule a meeting after we get that information to clarify it. But
Okay.
I don't know how else to get, we just don't have the time in-house to do this. We don't have the people, we don't have the time, and we don't necessarily have the expertise as they know how to get the information. And this is something that they do. So,
John's got a question.
Oh, John.
Yeah, and the state doesn't do anything, or I know in past, and when I say past 15, 20 years ago, the state unemployment office had a lot of those wage information.
not specific to the town of Plymouth. We want something that is created according to what the town of Plymouth's current wages classifications are. I mean, we can go and you can always go look and see, okay, you know, what's the average welder making, or these are municipal jobs. I think you need to be competitive. You need to be comparative to municipal jobs.
And the state doesn't have municipal job information?
Not, John, we don't. This company actually goes out and gets all of that information and creates a report to the board as to what these jobs should be paid, what they're doing for job descriptions, and they come in and they do a lot of work. We don't have the time to create something like this, nor do we have the expertise.
I have a question.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut in.
yeah, you know, in the past, I think we've requested it's when I started early on the budgets and department heads were doing job description information on what their personnel's job duty was.
The last official wage and classification study and job descriptions that we have here at the town hall. Now, I'm not saying some of them have not been updated, but the last official study was in 1999.
And who did that? Outside or inside?
NHMA did that outside. Yep.
I have a question. I know that there's a broad range of wages from southern New Hampshire to central New Hampshire and central New Hampshire to northern New Hampshire, and the pay scales are different in those regions. Would this be a comparative study for our region or our area?
It would be a comparative study, I believe, for our region as well as population. And if we have, I mean, there's not very many towns in the state that have universities. So of course they may look at some larger towns in southern New Hampshire or western New Hampshire that have universities. But it's a study. It's not.
No conclusions.
Well, I think that they're going to make a recommendation to the board as to where their employees should be, what range they should be in, depending on the job that they're in.
Another question, and I mean, is this going to say for a town finance director, is that going to be for private as well as what the public sector pays, or is it just going to be strictly the government end of it?
When Kathy and I spoke to Carol Granfield from MRI, we specifically said to her, we want her to stay with municipalities. We are not asking her to go out and look at private sectors. Again, you're comparing towns to towns. You're not comparing
Right.
towns to private companies.
Right, and I understand that, but if you look, I mean, most of my work was in the private sector, and if you look, the private sector doesn't have half the benefits that municipalities have, yet their pay is about the same, or maybe a little bit less, but they don't. I mean, you're looking at a total package that is, and I retired last year. I mean, the benefits and everything for the towns in the state compared to the private sector is 50% of what the towns get, and then you're going to be comparing the wages too. It just doesn't seem like you're going to be.
And you may find through this study, John, that the town of Plymouth is overpaying benefits, overpaying their employees.
Yeah.
Again, or underpaying and underproviding benefits. That's why we're asking to do this study.
I also think if we're going to get job descriptions out of this, I mean, we've seen plenty of job descriptions recently that don't really match the position, or so that would be good to clarify all those too. But it says for 77 positions, 50 classifications, and who all is going to be involved? Is all departments?
All departments, every department.
Okay.
Yep. So when the end product comes through, you should see a range of where each job that we have here in town should be paid. You may find that you're going to have some department heads who have been here, or employees that have been here for 10 years, 15 years. Potentially, they're already beyond the range.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are things to think about as well. But again, the job descriptions are going to help us. The classification is going to help us. It's going to put us in a more competitive state, and the selectmen and the department heads are going to have that hold up when someone comes and says, you're paying this person too much money, or I want to pay this person more money. It's giving you a tool to work with, I guess, for 5 to 7 years, possibly 10, depending on how long you keep it.
Okay.
If we hadn't gone so long, we may have been able just to update the one that we had, but I mean, we're out of that range now.
Yeah, usually with a vacancy, you'd have the opportunity to relook it, but
So
This is, the letter says this will take 4 to 6 months to complete.
except we had a conversation with them the other day and really pushed for the wages to be done within a couple months. And they indicated to us that they could do that. So potentially by the time your budget season is over or close to being over, you're going to have some numbers in front of you to work with.
So to John's point, benefits will be included in that
In the
total
study.
compensation package, if you will?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And we'll know what they were comparing us to?
I think it's a shame that NHMA doesn't do this.
Me too.
It seems kind of like a chunk of change to have it done, you know.
I know Scott's still on. Scott, you used to work for NHMA?
He's muted.
Yep. He's not answering.
Yes, and I did.
All right. Were you ever involved in any of these studies at all? And
I was, and I think the reason that they have taken this out of their suite of programs is they've reduced their staff since COVID-19, which is, I think, the reason why they've reduced the services.
So it seems like it's probably worthwhile to get it done. Ultimately, it might save us money as well,
it could.
or it could cost money.
It could.
I mean, I suspect it's only going to cost us money. Because if you've got somebody who's overpaid, you're not necessarily going to bump them down. If
Nope.
you've got someone who's under, you're going to feel a lot of pressure to bump them up. So I think
Yeah.
I think the thought that it's going to save money is maybe on new hires, but not in the immediate.
Right.
That's not a reason not to do it, but
Right, I think we have to.
And just a quick question.
Sure.
When they're doing the study, are they doing job task analysis to match the job descriptions that are currently in place?
Actually, they're having conversations with the employees. So hopefully that will be part of the process. Is there something that you're considering job task analysis versus job descriptions?
Well, sometimes there is a difference between the job description and the actual duty that the
Right.
employee follows out. So I just hope that when they're doing this, they're actually doing the job task analysis of each position and matching that with the job description and updating those job descriptions to assure they're being placed in the right classification zones.
Good point.
Yeah, very good point.
And did you say MRI has been chosen for this?
Yes.
I've worked with MRI on other projects when I was with Property Liability Trust. And I think that, I know Carol's been there a while, but Alan, who is president now, probably could give you some additional information with regards to job task analysis and how they match that. And because if they're not doing that, you're really not going to get a true picture of those classification zones in comparison to the job description that each employee has.
Okay. And you're making notes.
It
it does
does-
say position
yeah, it
analysis
does.
questionnaire, and following the analysis, recommendations will be made regarding if changes should be made to classifications of the current system. So it does sound like that's built into what's written here.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's specific to tasks.
Are they frozen again?
Nope,
Nope.
Nope.
we're just quiet,
Yeah,
contemplative.
I'm not sure if it specifically calls out tasks that people do or not do.
Are you okay, Neil?
But I will talk to Alan and also to Carol, who put the proposal forward, and make sure that that is done if the board feels that that is something that they believe should be done. If it isn't already, I mean, this is just a description of what they're doing. It may not be, actually everything they're doing.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
All right, so do you want to hold off until you get that answered? Or,
I would like to at least get it started, because if we hold off, we're off for another 2 weeks, and I can't guarantee that I can have what you need for salaries for the budgets, but that's your choice. If you want to table it for another 2 weeks, then that's what you decide.
okay, well, would someone want to make a motion?
So we'll have discussion after.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'll make a motion, we approve the purchase order for a wage and classification study.
Okay, Mary Ann moves. Is there a second?
I guess I'll second it. Curious about the discussion.
All right,
I forgot what I wanted to discuss.
so Mary Ann moves, Zach seconds. Any discussion?
I have a
No.
question.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
And I'm wondering if the survey will also include elected positions?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
I have a question. I'm wondering, how the effects of the pandemic will play out with
that's a good point too.
municipal wage scales.
Thanks, Neil. He does raise a good point.
Why, what would the effect be?
What people are, currently doing, like customer service, something like that, or greeting people at, the select board desk. There's not going to be, people might say, well, it used to be this, it's not now, probably will be in the future, but currently I do this. So that might have some negative outcome or something.
Not to mention an economic move to more remote jobs being available, potentially putting pressure on salaries.
Mhm.
Any other discussion?
I think the timing is unfortunate. If we were coming into the budget cycle with all this information, it feels like we would be in a stronger position to use it to set our budgets. But I'm a little concerned about having this study get completed right as the budget's wrapping up, and then feeling like we either have to make some rushed decisions or effectively delay a full year with information, and then disgruntled people that, now know that we've got this information and we didn't do anything with it. And it feels like it's going to put us in a fairly strange position to act quickly or not. I don't know. So timing to me feels like the real problematic piece here.
Okay.
I like the idea though.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna be able to do anything with the information.
Well, I mean, and actually, if they come up with, salary estimates based on position description in a hurry, being in a hurry may not be an accurate estimate of salaries, so I don't know. John or Neil, anything else?
No.
Geez, Ann.
Well, whatever you guys want, we thought it was best that the board have something to work with besides us coming to you and saying, this employee is way underpaid compared to this town, this town, this town. Again, the job descriptions are huge. We need those job descriptions, whether it's somebody going out on any FMLA, short-term disability. I mean, we just have, again, ours are 1999, 1998 era. If you decide that you do not want it for this budget season, I won't rush it. I was rushing her because I thought that it would assist us, you know, if you'll approve it. And again, she's saying 4 to 6 months, and I'll tell her to take her time and we'll work on it with next year's budget. Or 2 years out, sorry. But we need to do something because right now we don't have what we need to do our jobs.
All right, then. I guess we'll put it to a vote. Any further discussion?
Well, all the figures they're going to have are figures that were arrived at prior to the pandemic, but you also have to take into consideration that our employee pool is strained. It's very difficult to find good help.
Speaking of that, I mean, there's a number of ways that the department heads are, seeking further compensation. I mean, we've had requests from department heads to come in and reclassify positions based on, lack of competition with surrounding towns. And we've looked upon those kind of favorably. So we've been kind of contributing to kind of like an in-house reval on some positions, which may not be the best way to do this, but that seems to be what we've been doing. So, I think it would be great to have really good numbers and good position descriptions and real good valuation of what people are doing and the compensation that they're getting. I'm just kind of questioning the time as well, and whether or not, I don't know. Regardless, any other discussion? Seeing none. Zach, I hate to do it to you. Oh, Joe.
So I think that 2 months is a fair amount of time to pull this off and get those numbers for you. And then honestly, you're gonna have the closest and truest numbers to your budget because they're gonna be as close as, you're not gonna use them 6 months later. Those numbers are at the moment, you're building that budget, those numbers are true to the budget you're doing. I think you'll be in a good spot with that if you do that. And the other thing, I think that these departments are trying to figure out why we can't keep help. And all the money that we spend for ads and trying to get people in here and the qualifications. And so I think that this will help us in our budget, try to figure out. It will help everybody. That's just my opinion.
Thanks, Joe. Well, in that case, Zach, your vote.
Ann's in charge of the budget, and if this information she thinks she needs, I'm going to vote aye.
Okay, Bill, aye. Mary Ann.
Aye.
John.
Nay.
Neil.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Joe, I think you saved it. Very good.
And if in the early conversations, it feels like they're gonna rush to
Mhm.
get you information, I would encourage you to come back to us and ask if it's okay
Okay.
to drag your feet on it to get a
Mhm.
better result. I
Absolutely.
mean, I don't know if the rest of the board feels that way, but if you can get the information quick, that's great.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like the information will be good by going fast.
Right.
I'd rather have good information.
I will do my best.
Very good. Josie, you're still on. Josie Garona, Ewing.
Hi.
Hey. So we have a request to be a designated signing authority for a sub-grant opportunity for CARES fund.
Yes. So I've presented you with a letter asking the board to appoint me as the signing authority for this grant. Just briefly, the grant will cover some unexpected election costs. So for example, that could include the increase or the pay for poll workers, because we are expecting more poll workers to work this year than in the past. Also, the cost of postage for absentee ballots, and any other additional costs. Another example would be this year we have an assistant moderator, so this grant may cover the assistant moderator's pay.
Great. And it's likely that, this grant opportunity, I mean, it's pretty much of a sure thing, or?
It is. Most towns have been reporting that they are receiving money. And actually, there is one other grant that I'm hoping to apply for. Other towns have also shared that they're receiving, funds from this organization. One town reported receiving $5,000 the other day. So, and they're much smaller compared to Plymouth.
Very good. Of course, you're spoiling the poll workers, but that's okay.
So you don't know exactly how much money we're talking?
I don't. The state has a formula. I do have in front of me a spreadsheet. They're asking clerks to keep track of absentee ballots that are processed. And based on this formula, they're going to match 80% and towns will match 20%. So it depends. They'll basically, after the general election, we'll have definite numbers, and then we'll hear back from the state on what we should be receiving.
Okay. Well, sounds great. So is there a motion?
I motion to authorize Josie as requested.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Zach moved, Neil seconded. Mary Ann, your vote. Oh, hey, any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none. Mary Ann, your vote.
Aye.
Neil,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Zach.
Aye.
Bill, aye.
So for the next item on your agenda, there are several people who are either logged in or are calling in. I'm not sure how much time you wanted to give each individual.
Okay.
Juan Gaudet from Rumney, was the first person to contact me to be put on to the agenda.
Okay. So this is a request to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. And we have several documents. So,
Several emails, yeah.
Yep. So I guess we'll probably get started out by giving everybody, 3 minutes? Okay. And Fawn, where are you? Are you there?
Fawn, are you on the phone?
Well, is there anyone to speak in favor of the town changing, well, it could only be the town changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day?
Something to drink.
What was that? Did somebody say something?
I didn't, but I have a question. Am I allowed to speak at this?
Yeah, sure, yep.
Okay, thanks. This is Doug McLean, and it's too bad if Fawn is not on the line because she had sent a notice to several of us, and that's why I'm here. Yesterday, there was the New Hampshire Peace Action had a hour discussion with two Native Americans in the Concord area about Indigenous Peoples Day, and after hearing that, it's awfully hard not to think it's a good idea. Obviously, like anything, there's pluses and minuses to both sides, but it seems like the time is right to consider changing the name from Columbus Day. It would be nice not to get negative, but a couple of the facts that they point out are, number one, Columbus never set foot on North America. And number two, he instituted slaves from the minute he found the indigenous people in the Caribbean. And that doesn't mean he shouldn't be honored. He certainly had a lot of good points, but to have a nation that we were lucky enough to inherit from the Native Americans, and there were supposedly 20 million of them here before European contact, it just seems like the right thing to do to change the name to something that's more inclusive. And thank you for letting me speak.
Right. Thank you, Doug.
Hello. May
Hi.
I speak?
Who is this?
This is Kathleen Blake, and I know that Fawn is listening. Fawn, it's you have to hit *6 to unmute yourself. My name is Kathleen Blake. I did send you a correspondence, an email. I am an Indigenous woman, and I am the chair of the New Hampshire Commission on Native American Affairs. I just wanted you to know that we unanimously approve Indigenous Peoples Day and unanimously disapprove Columbus Day. I gave you some facts in my correspondence to you, and I hope that you will take a good, strong look at that and really think about what I shared. I don't think most people have any concept of what Columbus actually did when he arrived in the New World. It was cataclysmic disaster for the indigenous peoples. Furthermore, we are still here living among you. I actually used to live in Plymouth, and so there are people here in our community that are indigenous, and it really is something worth thinking about. I currently live near the University of New Hampshire, and several of our local towns here have gone to Indigenous Peoples Day, including UNH. I am a Plymouth graduate, and I would love to see my alma mater do the same. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Right. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
So is Fawn only able to listen, or I don't even see?
The others who submitted emails to you was Lexi. Not sure.
Hi,
Oh,
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, can you hear me? It's Fawn.
Yeah. Hi, Fawn. We can hear you.
Oh, thank God. Hi, can you see me?
Not. I can't see you. No, but
Oh, I'm so sorry. So, forgive me. I am. Some of you may know me. Is it okay if I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I grew up in New Hampshire, and thank you for everybody letting us speak. And I went to Plymouth High School, Plymouth College, and I kind of, I'm part Native American. I sent you my letter, and I just wanted to point out that there are 12 states that have Indigenous Peoples Day, Washington, D.C., and 130 towns and cities right now. So it's a huge movement. And is it okay if I read to you what I wrote?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, hello, my name is Fawn Gaudette, and I live in New Hampshire. My ancestors are Mountain Chief and Owl Child, and it's important for me to share that because those are my ancestors have fought for their survival, and I'm proud to have grown up in New Hampshire. And I was keenly aware of growing up in New Hampshire of the injustices committed against Native Americans, this being our native nation first. Before the Columbus era, there were millions of indigenous people in North America, Central America, and South America. The Wabanaki, known as the people of the dawn, lived in New Hampshire long before colonists arrived. Indigenous people thrived in harmony with Nakanita, which means land and wildlife. And there's also a band here, I believe that they sent you some information, the Kawasaki band, Pennacook Abenaki. And Kathleen, I think you mentioned that you were the chair of the Commission of Native Affairs in New Hampshire. The culture here was rich with tradition and honor and respect for their people, land, and wildlife. For me, Columbus Day is not a day of joy, it's a day of mourning. During this time, genocide occurred. Changing the holiday to Indigenous Peoples Day offers honor and respect to our people. As Columbus Day, the only marks a false representation of what happened in the past. We must never repeat this. By changing the name to Indigenous Peoples Day, you will offer truth. It is a chance for New Hampshire residents, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, to honor those who came for them and respect Indigenous peoples who survived to carry on such rich Native traditions for our future 7 generations. I humbly ask that you please change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Fawn.
Thanks.
So this isn't a public hearing, and we're just basically hearing from people that are concerned and would like to probably approach it as a public hearing. But is there anyone else to speak in favor or against modifying our name from Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day?
Well, why don't, this is John Randlett. Why don't they come up with a different time for Indigenous People Day rather than changing it on Columbus? They've added holidays nationally, and I think it's a good idea. Changing Columbus Day, not so much, but come up with an Indigenous People Day and make it a national thing. I think it needs to be done, but I don't know whether this is the way to do it or not.
All right, thank you, John. Jenny, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I hope this works because my phone sucks. But I just wanted to say that I think it's a great idea and that Plymouth is consistently ahead of the curve with many things. And this would be a great thing to be ahead of the curve with. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
I've always wondered why we have Columbus Day, actually. The Vikings got here before Columbus did. In fact, the Vikings were I believe they were in New Hampshire. But, the indigenous people really should be honored. I think we need to have some more of a process, though, before we take action on something like this.
Yeah, I would agree, Neil. I think, it's something to entertain in probably a public hearing. And this isn't really, we're not changing the national holiday. If we were to go forward with this, it's just basically recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day on the day that's also formerly known as Columbus Day, at least locally.
As far as changing the holiday, I don't think we have the authority to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So really all we would be doing is adding a recognition on that day.
Yes.
So is that what Concord did as well?
Well, you got Dover. There's
I see these other written ones, but I have to wonder if we ran it by John Rand, our lawyer, if Radigan would even say that we had the authority to do what they've done.
Well, we could ultimately do that, run it by our lawyer if we need to. But the resolution that like Dover did, or Durham rather, to hereby designated the second Monday in October as Indigenous Peoples Day. reaffirming the town's commitment to promote understanding, friendship, and the well-being and growth of its indigenous community. I mean, so it's not modifying the federal holiday, it's just
Recognizing an additional thing.
a designation, yeah.
Why couldn't they have a petition at town meeting?
Well, they could do that too, yep.
That
That's,
would give every voter in town a chance to have their say.
Theoretically, I think this is a great idea. I'm very much in support of the spirit of it. I do notice that most of the correspondence we received is not from Plymouth residents, right? Or all of the correspondence we received.
I think it was all.
so, yeah, that's a good point. Well, we had Jenny testify, to offer up
Jenny is maybe the sole representative.
the weight
Oh,
of
and Doug
Plymouth.
McLean, yes.
Yeah. Well, Fawn, perhaps, well, Marianne, do you have any more information?
No, I'm in favor of it as well. I just wonder, I like the idea of having it up for a vote to the town. That seems appropriate. I'm also wondering, I guess it doesn't change from the school's perspective. They don't change the holiday. Do they change it from Columbus to Indigenous?
I don't think they
Peoples' Day?
could. They'd have to recognize the federal holiday,
Okay,
I believe. I don't think we could take it that far.
okay.
In terms of actually useful action in this space, it feels like, drafting a letter from the town to the state or something would be perhaps more productive. They have the authority, we don't in this particular space.
Actually, they wouldn't either. They could make
Is that a
recommendations.
national holiday or is that that doesn't even really help that much.
But so I guess it's more, will be a feel-good thing on behalf of Indigenous peoples. And
I know Concord did, but I don't know the wording. I have to look that up again.
well, rather than kind of belabor it, I think, I would support it as well. But I think in order to obtain, the feel of the town, it probably should be a petition warrant article. And Fawn, if you're still on, or Kathleen, to seek out some, local spearheaders that would actually bring forward a petition warrant. Maybe Jenny or Doug, if you want to move this, I think that's probably the best way to get town buy-in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. All right. But I think we do appreciate this, and I've respected Fawn's things that she's pursued. I also saw that New Hampshire Peace Action Office email, and I haven't had a chance to take a look at it, but there are a couple of screenings that we were referred to that I just, like I said, I haven't seen them yet, but I think I'll take a look. And that's, well, now I made a copy of this like into the sides, but anyway, Fawn, I guess I appreciate you bringing this to our attention, and I would also appreciate somebody bringing it forward as far as the petition warrant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fawn. I don't see.
Thank you.
What's that?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And I guess that's all we can do this evening, though. So, therefore, are there any committee reports?
We already went through this.
Did a bit of committee discussion during the work session.
All right. So therefore, seeing none, In that case, are there any public comments? Unfortunately, we have people signing off now, but any public comments? Okay, Jenny Tebow. Yes, Jenny.
I just wanted to point out, I tried to log in on, I mean, not log in, but on the website, on the calendar, it has September 13th agenda, not tonight's. At least that's what I saw. So
Okay.
just a recommendation,
All right.
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Seeing none, we'll need a motion to actually go into a non-public session in accordance with RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2. And we're doing it because of union discussions, but
A and C,
A and C.
personnel and
Personnel and
reputation.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right, Zach moved. Is there a second?
A second.
All right, Mary Ann seconds. Neil, your vote?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Bill? Aye.